What's happening, y'all? Showman Flex back at it with another episode of the Flex Files. Look, I want to do a real quick video, man, because it's a video in response to a comment, though, right? Basically, somebody wanted me to do a topic, a video on the topic of, why do women reject handsome men, right? I just wanted to cover that real quick, right? Before we get into it, make sure to click that subscribe button below so that way you know when I post new content for y'all on a daily. And shout out to all the recurring subscribers, the new subscribers that have subscribed to this channel just now. Thank y'all so much, man. Listen, don't pay attention to that rattling noise if you hear it, whatever. So I saw the comment and then I saw somebody reply, man, and they kind of hit them with some real good knowledge, man. They were basically saying that you got to work on your bait, but also, also the fact that I think he was saying that you also got to have sex appeal. And look, we talk about that a lot, man, on here, man. Sex appeal is very important, right? Look, he even was detailed about it in the sense of like, look, man, wearing gray sweatpants, wearing a tank top, you got muscles, wearing a shirt that accentuates your or not accentuates, but maybe that's the right word, I don't know. But you wearing clothing that shows that you got a physique, that shows that you have muscles, that shows that you got, that you look like you can pick them up, twirl them around, toss them around, all that shit. They want to know that you can fuck, man. Like, you can be a good looking dude. You can be handsome. I said this on my TikTok as well. You can be a handsome dude, but you don't have that it factor for that woman, man. You got to have that it factor for that woman. You know what I mean? That's why they say, yeah, he was good. He was a good looking dude. He was handsome, but it's just something about him. He just looked a little too clean cut for me. And even though there's some women that like handsome, clean cut dudes, still, man, you got to understand that it's with a lot of women, they gotta see that sex appeal because you want them to lust you, man. That's why the dude that looks sexy to them, you know what I'm saying, they lust after that dude. That's the difference. It's just that they lust after that dude. That dude brings in a certain amount of lust for that woman that she can't even really explain. She can't even really explain it, man. She just know that it's just something about him that does it for him. That's why sometimes, the term Rom Wheels, and I think Cousin T-Taw said this term as well. But the ugly sexy player, I think this is a term that Ron Wills has used. The ugly sexy player, he be having chicks in his crib left and right, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he be having chicks in his crib left and right because he probably piping it down a certain way, but he got a certain look. He might look like a thug dude, jailbird type of dude too. His body probably on point. He probably got tats. He probably, bro, that's just what it is. They like dudes like that. That's why come you got, like, especially in the black community, a lot of, and this for the white girls too, because white girls like black dudes that look like this as well. But in the black community specifically, you'll have guys that, like dark skin, tall and dark and all that, with muscles and shit. Black women like that. They look at it and they it gets them in a certain frequency that they can't even really control. They don't even really, it just on a primal way, it attracts them. Right? So, when you're going off of that type of thing, that's why sex appeal is very important. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be for real with you, man. You gotta look like you gotta know. Look, man, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Okay. And I'm just telling y'all this as a man, just giving y'all game. I'm always, dressing like a slut, a whore at the gym. Okay. Like I'm just gonna keep it a buck, man. like, like, you know, and the thing, if your shit is right, because when we talking about sexiness and sex appeal, okay, we gotta also assume that your body on point, and this starts from this starts from the ground game, the ground. Okay, we got to start from the ground, from the bottom. And the original videos I made about body game, you got to start there. You got to start there, man. Okay, you can't be saying that you want to be an alpha showpiece and you want to be a sexy dude this and sexy dude that, and you ain't even working on your body. Okay, the body got to be. You got to start off with that, because that's the bait. Like the guy that replied to the comment, and I appreciate your reply, brother. I can tell you've been doing your homework. You got to start with the bait. The bait is your body. Ron Wills always talked about that. The bait is your body, man. I don't care what nobody say. The bait is your fucking body. You start with that. Okay. Then you go into what I like to call even working on how you walk. Then you work on your charisma. Then you work on your talk game, your confidence, right? Your energy. All of that goes into your energy and your aura. And women, you can't fake the funk with women, man. You can't fake it with women. Women know if you got it like that, if you that dude and you get other women, and other women are checking for you, right? They can tell. You can't fake that shit. They're gonna be like, yeah, he look like he can get it. Right? And he look like he get it and also he look like he get it from other women too. That's the whole thing, y'all. When we're talking about being sexy to women, that's what it's about. And you gotta dress a certain way. Dress the way that showcases your physique, that showcases the best qualities about you and your body, and that get other women hooked on you. And you want other women to think that you a whore sometime. You know, you kind of want them to think that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there have been times where, you know, women be like, oh yeah, see, look at you dressing all like that, looking like you just want attention. You just want attention. Well, I mean, yeah, but I also get it too, though. I get it too. And they like that. They like a dude that's gonna be cocky about his stuff. They like a dude that's gonna dress like that and that show what he got. Now, you know, they just gonna be they gonna be talking shit, talking about some, yeah, you know, and I'm trying to stop cussing, but I feel like I'm really cussing in this video. But I need for y'all to understand. You know, they want a dude that, you know, like, look, when they gonna start talking shit, they gonna be like, yeah, you know, but look, if me and you together, you ain't gonna be wearing the sweatpants out. You ain't gonna be wearing the sweatpants out. You ain't gonna be wearing this clothing out. Cause you just dressing like, you know what I'm saying? That's just meant for me and my eyes only. That's how you know you that dude when women are telling you that. Right? That's pretty much, and they even look at you like that. You know, you just got that look of, yeah, you know, cause don't pay attention to somebody. Don't pay attention to these women that say online, oh, I hate a guy that dressed like this and he get attention. Yeah, you hate him, but at the same time, you still gonna look. You gonna look. And then you fuck around, and if he good looking enough to you, she gonna change her rulings. She ain't gonna be as strict. You know what I'm saying? She ain't gonna be as strict as she is for other dudes. Because you do it for her, man. So that's what it's about, man. You gotta listen. Cause look, man, and you gotta go off of the women that are in your tribe. Just because you get rejected, that don't mean that you ain't attractive. In most cases, it kind of do, but you ain't attractive to that woman. But, you know, listen, it's more to it. Excuse me, it's more to it than just having a handsome face. And even if you have a nice body and you handsome, you still could be missing. You still ain't got that. You still may not have the it factor. You still may not have the it factor that makes a woman just yearn for you and lust you. At the end of the day, it really is all about lust. That's why, you know, and sometimes the only thing about that is, and I'm going to do another video on that later on, is that, you know, when a woman lusts you, they do put you in a category of man, right? So they may not want to settle down with you. And if you're the type of dude that want to settle down and get married, settle down and, want to get married and, or, want to have kids, well then, they're going to just automatically, have you in that, lusting category. And this goes into even when you in your 40s and your 50s. They're going to have you in, yeah, that's daddy. That's daddy, but I just want to lust after him. I just want to, but that's that, what I'm saying? That even goes in, especially if you're a dude, assuming that you in your 40s and 50s and you take care of yourself, you still a really good looking guy. Because I know I probably got guys that are on here that are in their 40s and 50s, right? But assuming that you're a good looking dude and your body on point, and you in your 40s and 50s, they still look at you as a good time, right? Absolutely. You just sex daddy to them. That's what it is. But that's what it's about, y'all. It's about the sex appeal, and it's about making yourself look a certain way. Like I said, man, I go to the gym, you know what I'm saying? And what's funny about it though is that, I just like wearing those type of clothes. You know what I mean? And I don't, gray sweats, dark gray sweats, black sweats, whatever. And I did that shit even when I was dating a girl. You know what I mean? Like, that's why, anybody, if I'm a really seriously date a girl, she gotta be very secure within herself. Cause I'm not about to stop. And also she want to show what she got. You know what I'm saying? She want to show, you know what I'm saying? But nah, I still keep it P. I ain't gonna be disrespectful with my lady and shit. Like, look, other women can look, but I ain't gonna, I'm just that type of dude. But yeah, like, that's what it's about, y'all. You can be handsome, but you gotta have a sex appeal. And 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna reject that, man. And if they do, they do. But you can tell when a woman looking at you. And I'm gonna do another video on that as well later on in the week. You can tell when a woman is really looking at you in a lustful way. You can tell. And I want y'all to stay tuned for that video. I'm not about to say it in this video. Y'all got to stay tuned for it. All right. Hey, look, hopefully this video helps somebody. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to click that link in the subscription box, or make sure to click the subscribe button below, so that way you know when I post new content for y'all on a daily, man. It's your man Flex. Shout out to all y'all. Until the next episode of the Flex Files, I'm out. Peace.